Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we dig into the nitty-gritty of big business, and today we're looking at BellRing Brands, Inc., the folks behind those popular breakfast and protein products. Let's just say this report has them settling some long-standing issues. Before we dive in, if you love getting these corporate scoops straight from the source, make sure you are subscribed. And hey, we have a great community over on Discord. Definitely join us through the link in the description below. Alright, so BellRing Brands, or the company as they call themselves here, is dealing with some legal wrangling. It all stems from some class action lawsuits about their joint juice product. These lawsuits were filed against Premier Nutrition Company, which is a subsidiary of BellRing Brands, basically. Consumers claimed that the product was misleading. Now, the big news here is that they've reached settlements. This happened in stages. First, back in June, they announced a general agreement to settle everything for a total of $90 million. Then, in October, they formalized this. They signed a stipulation of settlement for the California federal class lawsuit. This means if the court gives it the final nod, the company will pay about $19.2 million out of that settlement fund to wrap up that specific lawsuit. It is important to note they are saying this settlement does not mean they admit any wrongdoing. Just a few days later, on the 22nd of October, they signed another agreement, this time for the other related lawsuits, which they're calling the multi-state settlement. For these lawsuits, if approved, BellRing Brands will pay out another $70.8 million. Combined, that is the $90 million we heard about earlier. Again, they're emphasizing this isn't an admission of guilt. Now, here is the part where things can still go sideways. The courts still have to give these settlements final approval, and they remain pending. If either settlement isn't approved, BellRing Brands says they will keep fighting these cases in court. Now, while the legal stuff is a big deal, it is always good to see what else is in these reports. This filing also includes some standard exhibits. One of them is a cover page interactive data file. Think of this as a machine-readable version of the report's front page, making it easier for computers to process and analyze the information. It is just another layer of making financial data accessible. And that pretty much wraps up the main points of this filing from a legal and procedural standpoint. The report is signed off by Craig L. Rosenthal, who holds the title of Chief Legal Officer and Secretary. This is standard practice, showing that the company is officially submitting this information. Now, looking at the bigger picture for BellRing Brands, these settlements are a significant step. On one hand, resolving these lawsuits will likely remove a cloud of uncertainty that has been hanging over the company. It is often good for businesses to put these kinds of legal battles behind them so they can focus on growth and operations. However, a $90 million settlement is not a small amount of money. We need to see how this impacts their cash flow and their bottom line in future reports. While this report doesn't provide specific financial statements for this period, the fact that they are entering into such a large settlement suggests a potential impact on their financial health. We'll be watching closely to see how they manage this expense and if it affects their investments in new products or expansion. The company has a strong portfolio of brands in the booming health and wellness sector, which is a real strength. The key challenge will be navigating these financial obligations while continuing to innovate and compete effectively in a crowded market. Alright, that is our breakdown of BellRing Brands' latest report. What is your take on these settlements and what they signal for the company's future? Do you think they made the right call settling, or should they have kept fighting? Drop your thoughts in the comments if this analysis was valuable. Hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description for more community discussion. Thanks for watching. See you next time.